What's going on YouTube? This is Ultimate Device Vids, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at a new Cydia tweak called WeatherPeek. This is available for $1.99. And what this tweak does is it allows you to quickly take a peek at the weather from a few different locations in iOS. You can do it two ways on the home screen, and there's also a way to do it on the lock screen. So first things first, let's just start with the home screen. So one way to do it on the home screen is you just slide to the right on your first home screen page. And there you go. As you can see, we get this weather preview just like that. And it will continue to stay there as long as you hold your finger. When you do a release, it'll just go back to normal. So it's just kind of hidden there. You just swipe over and quickly check the weather. As you can see, it gives you, various days in advance. And, again, it gives you the current temperature, of course. You could also just open up Spotlight Search, and as you can see, it's there as well. And it does not interfere with Spotlight Search. You can still search for your applications the same way that you always would, just like that. Again, it just adds this nice new information. So as you can see right here, we also have, previews down here, of course, the current temperature. And you also could basically scroll like this for the times to see what's coming in the future. And if you slide all the way to the right, it's going to refresh the entire interface just like this with a nice little animation there. Very good animations and just a very good looking tweak overall. And if we go to our lock screen, I'll show you what it looks like on there as well. Basically, just as you can see here, front and center shows up right on the lock screen. But again, it does not interfere. If you get a notification, it'll just pop up right there, and this will disappear. Again, it's just here, so you could look at it. It's not going to interfere with your lock screen. Of course, you could also scroll here for the future times and also refresh here as well, just by swiping like that. And of course, it's going to refresh the interface. Now, there are some settings to configure for this tweak. So if you go into settings on your device and open up the WeatherPeek preferences, this is what it's going to look like. So of course, up the top here, we have the ability to enable or disable the tweak entirely. And as you can see up at the top here, we have the title, WeatherPeek by AtomDevTeam. And you have this really nice snowflake animation. And it's just really nice, very well crafted. You could just see that a lot of time was put into the settings panel. Just, gives it that nice extra touch. And of course, down here we have configuration and contacts. So if you go into configuration, there are some options in here. So we have auto color. This is basically just going to change the color of the text in this tweak in all the locations to match the wallpaper. So let's say I had a really bright wallpaper. If that was on, it would change all the text to dark. And, same thing vice versa with, different types of wallpapers. And also we have, of course, the ability to enable or disable the three portions of this tweak, being Springboard, Spotlight, and Lock Screen. So, of course, you could customize where this tweak is going to show up. And if we scroll down, we have two lock screen themes. We have normal and minimal. If I'm just going to change it to minimal here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go to our lock screen here, and hence the name. Of course, it is more minimal. It takes up less space. It basically takes the space where the clock normally is and gives you weather information. However, it does not take the clock away. As you can see, you can still see the clock right there, the time. You could also see the date. However, again, you have this more minimal weather interface here. Of course, you could still refresh. And of course, again, you get the current temperature right there. Very nice design. Of course, that's entirely your choice. I do prefer the minimal one, but again, you could customize that to your liking. Now, we do have refresh down here. This basically allows you to configure this tweak to automatically refresh. By default, it does not automatically refresh, but if you enable this, you do have the ability to set, as you can see, basically when it's going to refresh, how many hours it's going to take to refresh. Basically, it'll refresh every hour or every 2 hours, etc. I would recommend keeping it on 1 hour if you were going to use this, but I constantly refresh, so I'm not worried about that. You could also use Celsius if you want. There's also a tutorial if you want to, basically look how you use the tweak. That requires a restart, so I'm not going to do that, but you can do that. You could also change the city. So right after you install the tweak, you set it up basically through Spotlight Search. You just go through the configuration, basically telling it where you are. But if you ever move or just want to, have a different city set, you just select city, then you could reselect it on the map here. I'm just going to select cancel. Then contacts is basically just the developers of this tweak, basically the team, everything like that. Be sure to give all these guys a follow on Twitter. And of course, up at the top, we have this smiley face that allows us to tweet out that we're using the tweak and give the development team a shout out. With that being said, that's pretty much all for this tweak. It's a really nice one. I like it. It's just very elegant. It gives that, really great functionality with that great design. This is the kind of tweak that I really like. Once again, it's available in Cydia for $1.99. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.